Well, folks, I lost that bet. Here we go. We are back. ACVH proudly presents Tuesday Talks. We're here. Yay. Um, I got James with me here. Don't worry. We haven't lost Justin. We just don't know where he is right now. So James is here, but that's okay. Hey, James, how we doing?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Hi. So this has been talked about for a long time, and by talked about, I mean someone has been like every time they see me. Where's Tuesday Talks? Why can't we have Tuesday Talks again? And I try to do the whole spiel using big words so he won't understand that doing videos and stuff takes a lot of time, takes a lot of patience and know-how, but the I guess he just forged ahead, hoping, praying, wishing that we'll just get this thing back going. But yeah, here we are. We are launching Tuesday Talks once again. Just it's just a little. I wouldn't even call this a podcast. I'd call this like a little. I don't know, video episodes that just kind of take ACVH folks and we talk and like we want to promote obviously local businesses and things that our
Scuttlebutt.
warfighters are doing. Right. So, James, what have you been up to, man? It's been a little bit.
Just hanging out in Porterville, looking for more members for ACVH. Trying to get things going down here.
Yeah, it's Porterville. Porterville has there's a lot of veterans down in Porterville.
Yeah. Also, they have a really big thing for 4th of July called the Freedom Fest, which I didn't really know about until recently. We should definitely be a part of that one. Yeah, it's a big, huge thing down here.
So, I mean, that's cool. The last time I drove down Porterville, like obviously they're very vet friendly community. Driving down that main street, like Visalia has the Brave Project and has banners and stuff, but Porterville has like banners and pictures of
Yeah.
service members and stuff. I was like, wow, that's wild. Like that's great. Like,
Yeah, buddy.
really honor them veterans. I should probably live down there. Um, but so today, believe it or not, I don't have a script. I don't have really any topics to discuss other than just, hey, we're back. We're doing this thing. Um, if people are seeing this, obviously they found our YouTube channel, A Combat Veterans Hope, and we could really use some more subscribers. We could use some more um, feedback. Hopefully, people are following us on all of our social platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, we have Threads, and I believe we're still on X, but I really don't, or the former Twitter. I'm never on that. I don't understand how Threads and X works.
I mean, I'm on board with you on that one. I don't really understand that one.
Yeah, but I was like
Must be
Facebook,
an age.
Instagram. I mean,
I
we
think it's an
post.
age thing or something.
Yeah. So yeah.
Remember MySpace?
Oh man, dude. I
Uh,
actually made a MySpace 3 days before my first deployment. Like,
that's a long time ago.
yeah.
Man.
my
I wish I still
platoon
knew my
sergeant.
password. Is
Yeah,
that thing still alive? You can probably still go on there,
dude.
huh?
I want to say it's been a while. It's been a couple of years, but yeah, like it's still a place where it's more focused on like musicians, on like people.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
got a drummer in Albany
I
hooking up
got
with
you.
a guitarist from
Yeah,
Cleveland, and
like a gig thing or something.
yeah, so it's like it brings together artists to collab and stuff.
That's
So
nice.
it's kind of nice. Like, I mean, totally different than what it started off with, but it morphed into something pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So um, I'm stalling because I accidentally sent the wrong link to I got
To
my
our guest.
yeah, our guest coming up here momentarily as soon as I can find the dang thing. Um, Copy, paste. Here we go. I'm sure I can edit all this out later.
Yeah, for sure.
But before we bring on our guest, we want to say that today's episode is brought to you in part by My Office Life, a satirical, comedic office meme page that is available on Instagram.
Yeah, if you work in an office or ever have, you'll want to subscribe to their page at Instagram at My Office Life.
My Office Life. Love it.
My
Love it.
Office Life.
Wonderful. Thank you to the good folks down there. And link has been sent to our guest here today, Warfighter, fellow Warfighter. His name is Lino Camacho. He will be joining us here in just a minute. Here, we're going to talk real quick about his what he's up to because we're interested. What are Warfighters doing? Like we all get together. We had Warfighter dinner last week. Did not see James.
Ooh, too
But
far away.
we all whenever we get together, it's always a good time. But it's like, yeah, we want to know what warfighters are out and about doing. So, oh, there he
There
is,
it
right
is.
here. Everyone, Lino
Hey,
is here.
Hey, how's it
hey,
going, guys?
Hey,
hey.
there it is. Still,
Perfect.
I forgot to shave this morning, so sorry
oh,
about that.
oh,
I
got
fit in more.
all sorts of glammed up for us. Appreciate that, sir. Well, Leo, thanks for being here. As I quickly try to look for my notes that I so wrote down, um, the can you tell us a little bit about Lino here? Where what branch did you serve? Dates of service? Yeah.
Yes, sir. So my name's Lino Camacho. I was Army. I joined the Army in 2011, from 2011 to 2014. And
Oh,
so my job, my MOS was infantry.
hurt. Very good. Very good. James, Lino went
Shit.
in 2011. How does that make you feel?
A little bit old. That's okay though. You know what I mean? That's when I
I
got
got it.
out. I think
I
that's when I
was like,
got
I
out.
got out in '09.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
buddy.
Lino's
wow.
baby. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for your service, sir. Of course, of course.
Thank you, sir.
And you said your MOS is infantry.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I was artillery. James was the porta potty cleaner. I forget
Yeah.
what was
Yeah.
yeah,
Something
yeah.
like that.
We all had our
Some.
part to play. We all had our
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Appreciate
infantry, something like
it.
that.
the excuse me. I don't know. Okay, I got to work on this pushing the button thing quicker. Um, Lino here. Don't worry, I'm going to edit that last part out. As we all watch this
Probably.
tomorrow, it's like he didn't edit nothing. Oops. So what? You joined ACVH not too long ago, and when you're not hanging out with us at Warfighter dinners or whatever, what are you up to?
So I just try to get connected with different organizations, any kind of nonprofits. It's Suicide Prevention Task Force in Tulare County. So
Mm.
what they do, they go to different so they go to the homes of the family member that committed suicide, and so they help prevent a suicide by going to those family members and speaking to them, and so they can avoid any kind of suicide within that family. And so, because usually when somebody commits suicide in the family, then it's going to encourage somebody else to do it, unfortunately. And so that's one of the organizations. I'm just giving an example that uh, bought multiple books for their members and for also like whoever their clients are going to be. And so that way they can have a resource available for them. So that way, um, just whenever they're going through a bad day, they could just get the book and start reading it. And so I wrote two books, and actually I wrote three books, and I got two books in English, and I have the second book in Spanish. And actually, I forgot to bring them in right now. And if you guys don't mind, I'll get outside and go get that real quick. I have it in the garage real quick. If
Oh
you would like me to do that.
no, sure, sure, yeah. We got time. We got time.
Okay. Trying to see how I can take off the video here.
Oh, there
Okay,
it
I
is.
found it.
There we
Boom.
go. Boom,
Wow.
yeah.
He wrote. Okay,
Three.
did I
Three
hear him right?
books.
Three
Yeah.
books, two in English, one in
One in
Spanish.
Spanish. Yeah. That's pretty
Man,
impressive.
that's heavy. Like,
Yeah.
wow. And what a topic,
I
suicide
haven't even
awareness.
I, don't, I haven't even read one book in English.
Well, Waldo counts, right? I mean, we got the words because they
uh,
got to, you know.
possibly. Possibly.
Yeah. Oh man, I used to
What's
rock
that
it with
one? What's that
Waldo.
one they give us in boot camp? Didn't they give us a book in boot camp or something?
Oh sure,
Oh,
yeah, our well, the guy was the prac app was the guy
he's a guy.
for the guy. Oh, and he's back.
Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little bit slower. That's why I joined the infantry.
A couple of
So,
ASVAB all stars over here we got.
Yeah,
oh,
buddy.
oh yeah, I barely passed.
We'll
I feel
take
like Forrest Gump. You know how Forrest Gump asks his baby's mama at the end of the movie. He's like, he's not like me, is he?
it.
That's kind of how I feel. I'm like, my girls are smart, so they got it from mama.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah, I wrote some books, and I never thought I was going to be an author. Never thought I was going to write books. All I did was just share my story and just like I tell everybody, it's like I'm not forcing my beliefs to anybody or anything like that. I just let people know. Hey, people talk about yoga, they talk about a bunch of different other therapies and stuff. And for me, this was the best thing because I tried everything else you could try, and none of it even scratched the surface, you know. And
Hmm.
so for me, it was Jesus that pulled my head out where the sun don't shine. And so, but yeah, and I ended up writing a book called Hope for the 22.
Hmm.
Looks like this. I'll show you real quick. Let me know if it's kind of blurry, guys.
No, no, there it is. Boom. Hope for the 22. Lino Camacho. Love it.
Yes, sir. And so that one, we wrote this one. Well, I say we, as I wrote this one, my first book, because I mean, I was going to be one of the 22 veterans that commit suicide every day, and that's why I called it that. Hope for the 22. And I talk about how all the PTSD, all the anxiety, the depression, the suicidal thoughts, marital problems, addictions, combat, homelessness, childhood traumas, everything I went through, you know, and pretty much how God saved my marriage and saved me from becoming one of the 22, you
Hmm.
know, and that's why I called it that, so it can get their attention, whoever, whatever veterans think about suicide, you know, or whatever service member, and so um, just so that way they can at least see, oh, okay, there's some hope for those that are wanting to kill themselves, you know, and
Hmm.
so but yeah, I talked about all those things, and it was a lot of hell that I went through when I got out of the service and stuff.
Yeah. Well, no, I was just thinking. Did you purposely say hope for the 22? And did you ever get our cease and desist letter? Because we're hope. God dog it. You know, we and you got hope. Oh no, litigation everywhere. No, no, no.
Oh, you sorry, you kind of cut
edit,
off.
edit that out. Edit
Yeah,
that out.
yeah. Sorry, brother.
Oh
Oh,
man.
that's great. Oh,
Did
You
it?
gotta ask me that question one more time, man. I'm a little bit slower, and
okay.
you
We're.
got a higher ASVAB score.
Oh my
Let's
God.
just
Yeah.
we'll
This is.
erase that one.
I'm so not going to edit anything here. I'm just going to leave this one alone.
Oh man,
No, I mean,
that was good.
I was saying that you chose the title "Hope for the 22." We are
Oh yeah,
ACV Hope. So
oh
should we
yeah,
send you a cease and desist letter? We can get into the legalities of
yeah,
all this thing. Like, hey, 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 no, where's our cut? No,
yeah.
no, but it's good. That's that's why
Exactly.
we named ourselves Hope as well, because we want to give hope to our returning veterans as well. So yeah, no, totally.
Hmm. Oh
Um,
yeah, 'cause that's why I felt hopeless, you know,
hmm.
after I got out.
Yeah, yeah. And I felt that when I was in, so that's great.
Yeah.
And you were good when you were in too, yeah. Like you felt like that connection.
Yes and no. And so I kind of felt hopeless in there too, you know. I mean, coming back from deployment and not being, uh, what do you call it? Um, Not having any kind of family member, no support there.
Mm,
Just your buddies that are there that they have their family members, and you see all them after deployment and stuff, and then you don't see anybody waiting for you. So it's a little, it kind of gets to you. It kind
yeah.
of gets to you. It's like, who the hell cares, you know?
Mm,
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I had a lot of depression when even during Afghanistan, even during deployment, you know. And so, I mean, just every night I would be praying for my buddies, you know. And so, we were in Kandahar, and so what was funny is I never thought I had PTSD. and I never thought I had any of that, and I thought it was normal to want to kill yourself every day.
Yeah.
And so my uncle said that's not a normal thing. I said, oh, okay. And so he's the one that told me, encouraged me to go and get filed for disability and all that stuff,
Yeah,
and
totally.
I was like, I'll give it to the guys that lost their legs, lost their arms, and things like that. I feel like most veterans think that way, but if nobody applies for their benefits, who's going to be getting anything? Because even the guys that lose their arms and their legs, they're like, give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I ended up applying and stuff, and it's been a huge blessing. And well, actually, it was Mario Flores is the one that helped me get my
Shout out.
percentage up and stuff.
Shout out Mario
Yeah,
Flores, DAV.
yeah,
Or
yeah. So the DOV.
that was way too low. His cadence is usually something like scares the hell
Yeah,
out. Like,
yeah,
man, he scared the
yeah,
hell out of me that first time I ever saw him. He comes,
yeah,
shake his hand. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Like, wasn't
yeah.
ready. Wasn't expecting
Oh
that.
yeah,
Crazy,
yeah. He's
crazy
fun, man.
devil.
Yeah, he's fun. Yeah, he's a cool dude. Cool
Yeah.
dude.
No, like yeah, totally. When going back to what you were saying about when you came back and you didn't think you had it, um, I had a similar experience with my dad. We're home, we're having a couple beers and glad you're home, son, blah blah blah, and then the into the late hours, and then he tells me that I can't say it's hard to say the word. He says I have the eye the I want to say coraje. He said
Hmm.
I had that, whatever. I'm like, the fuck you talking about, Dad? Like, he's like, no, no, I'm good. I'm good. And he's like, no, no, son, you're different. And I was
Is
like,
that a
no,
thousand
Dad,
yards? Is that a 1,000 yard stare or what?
something like that. Like, I mean, I can't, I don't know how to translate it, whatever. It's kind of like I have the anger, he says.
The eyes
Yeah,
of rage.
right. Something like
Yeah.
that. It's like, and I'm like, no, Dad, I'm good. Like, I didn't. There's guys who had it way worse than I did. Like, I'm good. Like, like what you were saying, like, no, I'm good. No, whatever. But no, I mean, we all have, and sometimes it takes the other person to try to be like, hey, let's talk about this real quick.
And I had that desire to want to put my testimony or my story in a book. And so, because the first time I shared my story with somebody, it was a 17-year-old Satanist that was about to commit suicide that night. And so it was in a restroom. And so at the Kohl's, that clothing store, I tell my wife, hey, let's go to Kohl's. She said, okay. We didn't have money to spend. And so we get up, get dressed, and go to Kohl's. And we get there. My wife's looking at clothes, and I go straight to the restroom. And that's where I met this kid, the 17-year-old. And he had tattoo 666 on his knuckles.
Hmm.
And so and because I was asking him if he knew Jesus, he said, yeah. He said, I know Jesus. He's all powerful, all knowing, omnipresent, the Son of God, the Messiah. And he said, I know because I'm Satanist. And he showed me his tattoos. And that's when I was like, okay, well, you know him, but have you ever repented of your sins and accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior, man? He said, no, man, he never forgave me. I got the number of the beast on my hand. I said, well, so Jesus says the only unforgivable sin is the blasphemy of the Holy Spirit, I told him. And so I said, if you wholeheartedly repent, he'll forgive you, man. And I shared my testimony, all the combat experience and stuff. And so he's like, I want the same thing you have. And because I opened up and I was willing to be in my, what do you call it, be vulnerable
Mm.
and
Yeah.
share all the hell that I went through when I went to combat and stuff and coming back and all those things, cheating ex-fiancés and things like that. And I was about to drive off a bridge, so many different things,
Mm.
and I opened up. I was vulnerable with them. I didn't care. I said, hey, but it encouraged him to want to find the same hope that I have. And
Yeah.
so, and that's why I share with people. Don't be afraid to open up and be vulnerable. It's like, hey, if they don't, what do you call it? If they don't value it, that person doesn't. They're just not mature enough, or they think you're strange because you're crying in front of them. And so
Mm.
I'll tell the guys it takes more balls to cry in front of people and not care what anybody thinks about them than for you to hold it in and repress your emotions like everybody else. And
Yeah,
so that's if you want to be real macho, that's the best way to do it. Is cry and not care about anybody thinks.
Yeah, it's a big
And so,
stigma, I think, in the military about not showing any emotion, not showing any feelings or anything.
oh yeah, that's true. And we're trained that way. We're trained that way
Yeah,
so we can be ready for war. But once the scenario is over with, and you're not, um, I mean, you're not in the firefight, you're not in the situation that calls for that type of training, then you got to ventilate because all that pressure inside is gonna eventually it's gonna expand too much and it's gonna blow up. And that's I use that as an analogy is that we're that container. And so if we continue to repress our emotions and we hold in all that pain, all that pressure inside, eventually we're gonna blow up. Is
Mm,
if we don't open up the valve, if we don't talk about what we're going through, if we don't ventilate, then we're gonna blow up. And what does an explosion do? It destroys everything around it, including itself. And the second book is called Purpose Driven Pain. And so the privilege of living a painful life in a hurting world. And so this one, my wife and I, we wrote this because we lost our first baby. And so, like I tell people, like I've been a combat in Afghanistan, multiple firefights, but it doesn't compare to holding my dead baby in my hands.
no.
And so that night we lost the baby. It was on Mother's Day, and I was, it, it was just completely destroyed me. But then I used that pain. 3 days later, after we lost our baby, I started writing because the emotions were fresh, and I started writing so I can help others that have been through the same situation and just encourage others that are drowning in the sea of depression. And that's why I did the book cover design the way I did, where this person's drowning in the sea of depression
Wow.
and slowly dying. That's
Mm-hmm.
why he's skin and bone
Sure.
until you reach out for help and God gets a hold of you. He'll fully restore you back to life again.
If I remember correctly, you had attended the state convention for American Legion not this past month, and was able to outreach a little bit over there. So I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
yeah, it sounds like you're making waves and trying to connect with people and bring them a little bit of solvents with if they have some troubles
Oh, yeah.
because you've already
And
been
it's,
through some pretty heavy stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh, yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what I try to do. And it's not just helpful for the veteran in himself, but also for the family members because those family members get to understand and have a little bit more sympathy for their veteran
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to understand, okay, maybe this is why he's going through this, and he just doesn't know how to open up, you know. And
Mm-hmm.
so it kind of gives them a little bit of training on how to go about things, conversations and things for with their veteran.
Okay. Yeah. Right on. The
well,
I'm
oh yeah.
Go ahead,
Oh, go
James.
ahead. I
No,
was
no.
going to say, I want to tell everybody where we can buy your books at, where we can find them.
Yeah, so the books they're available on Amazon and also the Book Nook. It's either called the Book Nook or the Nook Book. I always it's dyslexic sometimes. And so it's on Main Street in Visalia and also Mooney Boulevard. There's a Barnes and Nobles there. They have it on their website and they also have it in the bookstore here in Visalia.
Wow.
And
Cool.
so
Yep.
Dang, hot dog, dude. You're on Amazon and you're in two bookstores. Like, I didn't know we had such a wow. That's pretty cool, dude. That's really freaking cool.
thanks,
Like,
man. I
yeah,
appreciate it, brother.
absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Arthur, for taking the time to come speak with us here on Tuesday Talk. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to. I'm gonna go to the book nook and pick up a book for James. It's his birthday coming up. I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
I was looking for something. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna give him homework. I'm gonna hand him a book, tell him to read it. Yeah, yeah.
There it is. We can do that.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
thanks.
sounds good. No,
All
I
right, man.
appreciate it,
Thanks,
guys.
Lena, for coming out. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you, guys.
All
Thank you
right.
for your service.
Have a good one, man.
Take care.
And so yeah, we'll be able to yeah, we'll post that link down below, guys, here on our channel. The link for Lino's Amazon storefront. Wow, dude, dude. He has some had some adventures, or not? I
Some
should
deep
say
stuff,
adventures,
man.
experiences.
Deep stuff.
Like that's crazy. Like whenever whenever we're especially like Memorial Day, everyone's at the cemetery, like putting up the flags, whatever. It's like you see all the Vietnam vets out there, and wow, those guys completely different experiences
Yeah.
than
Oh
us
yeah.
in the desert. But
Yeah, for sure.
I always think like I feel very lucky. Like my unit, we had it pretty good. Like nobody like we didn't have any KIA while we were out there, so we were all very fortunate. Like man,
Yeah, we had a few.
yeah,
But you know, I mean, like it's cool that he could take those experiences and turn it into something positive. You know,
no,
a lot of
absolutely,
people, a
yeah,
lot of people just drowned in it, man, and to let it consume them. You know.
totally. And good thing he was Army because I don't know if Marines. I can't really read, so it's like
Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to write a book for sure. It would have been maybe like a picture book or a coloring book or something.
again back to Waldo. Like
Hey, but
that's my
just
boy.
keep the crayons away from infantry marines. You know how that goes.
Yeah. Well, man, I mean, wow. I was. It's like I was like, I can't use the gym analogy because I never go to the gym. Let's try the dentist. Like you have that dentist appointment coming up, and it's like, oh, I want to go. Try to think about how to get out of it. Then you freaking go, just get it over with, and then you feel better afterwards.
Yeah,
It's kind of like how I'm feeling right now.
yeah.
Like,
You're
the,
dreading it. You were dreading this.
I was. Oh God, dog, that thing was late as hell. No, this was nice. Like,
Yeah,
okay, Tuesday talks. Like this.
it'll get easier too, man. It'll go easier and more. You know, just easier, more. What's it called? The
Yeah,
flow of
yeah.
things will get better for sure.
All right, cool. Well, dude, appreciate you coming out. I'm gonna spend the next few hours trying to edit this thing down as best I can.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, you. I was like, I know the. Thank you so much for filling in as Justin was away, but maybe we should have the trio here
Yeah,
going
let's
round and
do it.
round.
I'm
Yeah,
usually free. You know me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Friggin' yeah, I got to copy your notes so I can get my disability up too. So
Yes,
I can have some
sir. That's
free
the way
time.
to.
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, appreciate you. I'll give you a shout and thanks to everyone for tuning in. If you're still here at this point, put a comment down below and um, say like free hat. And let me see how many
Yeah.
people actually got to this point. If you comment free hat, I'm gonna make sure you get an ACVH hat. Sound good? Yeah.
Nice.
Boom.
All right.
Let's see how many people do it.
I'm gonna do it right now. No,
All right,
I'll get
buddy.
enough of those. All right,
We'll
but
talk at you
hey,
later, man.
bye.